Hey everyone, Greg here. As you may know by now, I'm the co-founder and CEO of TripShock, an online reseller for water sports and tours. For the past 12 years, we've had the pleasure of working with hundreds of operators across the country, and we're looking to grow our community. It's free to sign up, and you only pay when we bring you confirmed bookings. We'll help you reach new customers, fill empty seats, and grow your business like so many have done with us over the years. Head over to partners.tripshock.com to learn more about our program, read testimonials, or speak directly with our supply team. As always, thank you for listening and enjoy the show.
They come to relax, enjoy the beach, have fun, and spend money. And that's where we come in. This is the Awkward Watersport Guys podcast. Find out tips on the best ways to market and operate a water sports business. If you're a water sports operator, you need to grow your brand, operate more safely, upgrade your operations, and of course, increase bookings. We're industry veterans, broadcasting from Destin, Florida. This is the Awkward Watersport Guys podcast. And this is Kevin O'Neill and Greg Fisher.
I looked down at it like 50 times, too. It said not recording, dude. I don't know how many times I looked at it. It said not recording, and then until you said that, it just dawned on me. Oh,
all right, so we just recorded about 30 minutes of the show, and we didn't hit the record button. And you guys, everybody missed all the nerdy talk about the Dogecoin and cryptocurrency. And we were just about to talk about how shitty Yelp is.
No, we're talking about how great Yelp is.
Oh yeah, how great they were. Yeah, how their stock is worth so much money.
Man, well, maybe we'll circle back. Maybe there'll be a better. I gotta say, it was a really awful segue anyway. So I feel pretty good about it because I think we went too long talking about crypto anyway. So I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. We'll get back into it again. You look so sick. You look like the guy who wrote you had a fucking full manuscript and then your computer crashed and it's just gone. You're like, God damn it. Greg had a bunch of great insights into cryptocurrency and the future of cryptocurrency markets, and we talked about
so I'm gonna recap. I'm gonna recap how it applies to water sports.
No, listen, guys, spoiler alert, Greg's got his own coin. He's just trying to fucking sell you guys on it. I love it. All right. So to recap, Mahi coin to the moon.
No. So before I get into that, yes, I started a little cryptocurrency as a little side project, but as Kevin said, Spoiler alert. Yeah. I wasn't ready to talk about it. But anyways, we did a survey on the Facebook page about, would you accept cryptocurrency as payment at your business? And I was really surprised to see that most people either said maybe or definitely. Actually, 90% said that.
Well, so why wouldn't you, man? It's like the fucking it was really funny. Now we're going to go back on all this shit. But back in 1991, you would have definitely accepted the Princess Di Beanie Baby as payment. No, if it wasn't going to the moon, do you think if this shit wasn't and I think this really attests to exactly everything we just talked about over the last 30 minutes. Bitcoin fucking plunges. Everything plunges because of it. The next day, everybody fucking says, no, I wouldn't take cryptocurrency. Right?
I only would believe that if Bitcoin was something new, but it's been around for at least 10 years, maybe more.
So if it crashed and caused a fucking full-blown economic meltdown, you still think people would take that number would change?
100% they would. Look at the stock market. Every time the stock market has crashed heavily, people have bought back into it.
So you still think that 90% of people would take Bitcoin the day after a huge crash?
Why wouldn't they? I would be buying it the next day.
I don't know. I think you and I would think that.
There's going to be some skeptics to it for sure. People that are kind of concerned, but there is so much infrastructure surrounding Bitcoin. So many companies accepting it. You got billionaires like Mark Cuban and Elon Musk that are
isn't
buying
Warren
huge
Buffett,
positions.
like shitting all over Bitcoin though?
He's been shitting on cryptocurrencies because he just doesn't understand it. But he's a
Oh, the
stock
Oracle
guy.
of Omaha. I'm pretty sure he understands it.
I'm sure he does too, but he just, he's a stock guy. So
Warren Buffett's got nothing on the Awkward Watersport guy. But I mean, there's like a lot of hedge fund managers too. There's like a lot of people out there that don't have a lot of faith in Bitcoin. They feel that it's fucking tulip mania.
Yeah. I mean, there's
I mean, you really,
yeah.
I like agreed. Like, yes, you would take Bitcoin tomorrow, like in abundance. You'd be like, hell yeah. But do you think the average person who's just now getting like hip to what Bitcoin is would still have that faith in it if it fucking, dropped down to zero? They'd feel like they were getting a deal on it? Or, you think they...
It just depends. I mean, it has a lot to do with how long it's been in circulation, and it's built a lot of trust. Like Bitcoin's built a lot of trust with people. So if Bitcoin was brand new and it crashed the second day or whatever, then yeah, people would be like, no way.
Do you think Bitcoin is going to be it? Do you think Bitcoin is going to... So we were talking about...
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think Bitcoin is always going to be there, but I do think there's going to be other ones that come.
Like Litcoin. My coin. I'm starting a coin too, guys, called Litcoin. You'd be totally fucking lit. Like, this is how I feel about it. Like everything, like I feel like they're going to have like a 2020 starter pack. Remember those memes, like the 2000 starter pack and it's a 1995 starter pack. It's got all these like goofy things that pertain to that era. I sort of feel like there's going to be like a 2020 starter pack, and it's going to be like a vape pen and plugging NFTs and Bitcoin and like a mask. And so I find it concerning. Like I find it concerning that its value is predicated upon people's belief in it. And that's all it's predicated upon. Like these NFTs, right? All these celebrities are selling these fucking NFTs. And it's almost like a weird kind of fucking social currency. Like Elon Musk gets out there and says like, buy Dogecoin. What's Dogecoin? It's literally nothing, literally backed by nothing. But now it's fucking huge because Elon Musk says it is. So don't you feel like that if it's like people can not have faith in the American dollar, but it's not going to crash the American dollar? People can fucking, you know what I mean? It's not like all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I don't know about this dollar anymore. It's not like a fucking ruble.
The way the American dollar could crash is if people
keep on investing in Bitcoin.
If people stop using it, and if the government continues to print more money, like all this money that we're printing for stimulus is probably not going to be good for inflation. It is not. I mean, I know it's not going to be good for inflation, but it's the same with cryptocurrency. If there's a lot in circulation, if there's a lot of it's being mined and putting in a lot in circulation and no one's trading it, then yes, it's going to go down. That's just kind of how it works. But the reason why the American dollar doesn't go down, because we have a tight wrap. I mean, every business in this country takes the American dollar.
And a lot in the entire world.
A lot in the entire world. In fact, if you go overseas, they rather have the American dollar in most countries than they would their own currency.
USA. I don't get it, man. Like that's why I don't have faith in, because I intrinsically don't understand blockchain. I got a blockhead when it comes to blockchain. I don't get it, man. Like, I mean, I sort of get it. I like understand there's a very limited amount. And then exactly.
Well, you got a bunch of computers that verify the authenticity of the transaction. That's all you got to really know. And that's what keeps things trusted. Now, going back to
real quick, I got another question for you though. So don't you feel like that's like another evolutionary step in sort of like having faith in things that have no balance? I'm not going to go like, look, we should go back to the gold standard, because I know like there are things, yes, you can do with gold, but certainly not why its value has held over the years. It's not like people are, what gives gold its value. But ultimately, like we were sort of talking about this, we talked about this while we were not recording, and we were talking about how like the value of things, right? So like that, so now first week's like dollars, they're just kind of a representation of debt, right? So dollars is just a debt. Bitcoin, like at what point do we start? We're like, it feels like we're getting further and further down this chain of things, like trading things that don't have any type of value to them. Like dollars technically don't have, you can't do anything with a dollar. You know what I mean? If you tried to start a fire with it, right? So at what point do you feel like all this becomes like so centralized and so consolidated that it just becomes that one thing can pop that bubble, that this whole thing could crash? Like remember when I don't know if you remember the Silk Road?
Not really. No.
It was a drug trading website that exclusively used Bitcoin, and the reason they use Bitcoin is because it's untraceable. Now, obviously, Bitcoin has become a lot bigger than this since this happened. But so this was when Bitcoin was like worth like $600 or $700 and $900, something like that. Mm-hmm. And then the Ross Albright, the mastermind behind the Silk Road, which was this Amazon for drugs on the Tor network, got caught. And Bitcoin tanked, like it fucking tanked. So I guess what I was going with that whole analogy is that like, is there this thing then? All right. So if they say if like the dollar gets tanked, then the entire economy could get tanked. But that's only to a degree. You know, if Turkey's or Brazil's, their economy tanks, there's not these reverberations felt throughout. If the American economy tanks, then there is, but it's not like the entire world, like China could still continue on. So if Bitcoin collapses or tanks, then the entire world economy would completely collapse, would it not? If it was the standard? If there was like if everyone used crypto and we had a non-regulated, because this is what we were like talking about. I'm going like in a roundabout way.
I mean, if it's like let's say if it is a de facto world currency, then people would still be trading it and swapping it and purchasing with it constantly. Like it would need to be something enormous, like a data breach or something. And that's why cryptocurrency is somewhat secure, if not very secure, because you have millions of computers that validate the transactions. So it's hard to like steal and mess things up. So it's with a bank, you can have issues with banks. I mean, people's data can be disrupted. I mean, we're getting to a point where lots of transactions are being stored digitally.
Well, I guess my whole point is, and I wanted to make it again because it's conflicting for me. Because at one point, at a certain point, I don't want government involved in I look at these ridiculous tax rates that we have to pay and all this. Every time I turn around, I feel like there's like some oligarch out there like, you must pay a tax on labor, pay a tax on sales, pay a tax on income. Like, Jesus Christ, when does it stop? So it's sort of like, oh man, it would be like, man, that would be the true, that'd be like the true zenith of capitalism to have like an unregulated currency. But then at the same point in time, that sort of affects our sovereignty as a nation, not having our own money and having this like world currency that's backed up by technology.
Well, smaller countries definitely have the most at stake when it comes to their own currency. So let's say that I travel to Central America, to one of those countries that probably don't have a very stable financial system, and everybody there at the hotel and the different activities and tours, they all accept Bitcoin. So the fact that their currency is not flowing and trading and buying and selling, that will hurt their currency significantly. You need people using it. That's why the American dollar is so strong, is because we have a good, strong financial reserve system, and everybody in the world wants it because it's like the status quo for currency. So
then let's look at the inverse of that, right? So let's say we don't have one dominant like Bitcoin, but then you just have all these offshoots and there's all these wild, like different, I mean, now you have tons of Bitcoin. Everybody can just basically create their money and say, oh no, I only trade in, Kevcoin or Mahi or whatever it may be. I have this service you need. And I also have I have Mahi coin and or you have to buy Mahi coin and spend Mahi coin with me. I mean, at that point, then you know what I mean? Doesn't it?
Yeah,
seem
I understand.
Like
at what point? But here's the thing: it takes a lot for companies to accept coins. Like, for example, as from a business perspective, and this is where I'm trying to get at from that survey. From a business perspective, you're going to want to accept the most stable of all coins. You don't want to accept the new guy. And there is going to be new coins always coming in the market, but you want to use the one that's most widely used because you have the best chance of it not losing its value or also have chances of it increasing in its value. So I treat cryptocurrency as the same as like our US dollar, but the difference between the US dollar and cryptocurrency is more volatile. It can go up, it can go down, and that's the biggest difference. But when it comes to like business, and what I was trying to get at with that survey was, I mean, I pay hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million plus in credit card fees every year. And if we had a cryptocurrency that we could accept, this could be a solution to eliminate those credit card fees. Plus,
I love it. I love that your whole thing with this is you just want to get rid of credit card fees.
But also you got to think, we wait. I don't know. I mean, on the weekends, we wait 4 days to get funded from our bank for the money we collect from our sales. We also have to deal with chargebacks. I mean, every year it's nothing killer, but we have $20,000 to $30,000 in chargebacks every year. So there's some real solutions that cryptocurrency can deliver for businesses. And I'm just saying that that's the reasons why I would want to accept it.
All right. So if it became regulated, though, don't you then think that it would have to be, do you think it would still be that fast?
Absolutely.
If it became regulated?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know I don't know what degree they can regulate it, but if they're regulating it and it slows things down, that defeats the whole purpose. You might as well just shut it all down.
Well, just once government gets involved, there's always going to be some new bottleneck, you know. Like it's always, I was making an aside. I was making a ridiculous aside.
And then from another thing that from our perspective as an OTA, paying out partners sometimes takes 5 to 7 days for the transaction to go through for payouts. A cryptocurrency solution could get them paid almost instantly. Now, someone could say, well, why don't you just use PayPal? Well, if you guys understand PayPal, there's a lot of fees associated with sending and receiving. And plus you have to have a PayPal account, other things. I mean, I think eventually everybody will have a crypto wallet of some kind. Maybe not right now, but 5-10 years down the road, everyone will have a crypto wallet just like they have a bank account.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
There's some real benefits I see from a business perspective, but will it be used in practice? My guess is if let's say I decided to accept Bitcoin tomorrow on TripShock, I probably would get like a fraction of a percent utilizing it because it's not mainstream enough where people typically do that. That's the issue with like Dogecoin. For Dogecoin, there's like Mark Cuban said he's going to accept it at the Dallas Mavericks. I heard like the Oakland A's are accepting it for tickets. That's a start. Now, if Elon Musk says that you can use Dogecoin to buy a Tesla, then now we're talking.
Who started Dogecoin? Did Elon Musk start Dogecoin?
No, it's just some developers started it, and then
okay.
Elon Musk just got behind it and started tweeting it.
So this is the problem, man. It's like fucking social currency.
Okay, so Dogecoin is
problematic.
Dogecoin is not the same as some of the other ones. Dogecoin was a meme coin. It was a joke. It never was meant to actually be. But
hold on though. But there you go. You said it though. Like right from the beginning, you said it. Like if so, Mark Cuban has faith in it. He starts taking it. Let us say the coffee shop down the street take it. What if they take it exclusively? What if Mark Cuban took it exclusive? I'm not saying that he would, but my point being is that you just have all of these like money start like kind of like popping up everywhere, and then if somebody says that it's good and that it's worthwhile, and Mark Cuban and Elon Musk get behind it, and then now it's kind of weird. Like I feel like we're in the most bizarre time in human history. Like Bill Gates is like, take this vaccine. Everybody's like, oh, I gotta get the fucking vaccine. Elon Musk is like, use this for your money. Everybody's like, okay, that's gonna be my money. Like I'm sort of like missing the gatekeepers right now because I feel like we're fucking letting Kanye West fucking run the world. It's like, somebody gets it right, and all of a sudden we trust them with medicine and our finances and fucking everything else. And like none of these people are historically experts on any of this shit. I mean, well, Mark Cuban probably knows a little bit about money, but at the same point in time, like does Mark Cuban like run world governments and, centralized and decentralized currencies? Like, is he an economist? Like, does he understand? You know what I mean? Should Mark Cuban be the fucking new IMF or central banks? Like,
I don't know. Well,
it just seems wildly out of control in 2020, man.
Oh, well, 100%. I agree. It is wildly out of control. You got 20-something-year-olds that are making $100,000 with cryptocurrency. They're not working, and it's become a phenomenon, really. But beyond the surface of it, there is valid case for, like, I do see why it's important to look at cryptocurrency as a different way of doing payments and sending money. I do think the dollar and the traditional banking is becoming obsolete in some way.
Listen, this is what I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I feel that everything is fucking like in fast forward right now. Everything is being sped up to these like wild amounts. Everything is blowing up really fast. Like I don't know a lot about bubbles, but this definitely feels like one. This all
100%.
feels like a huge fucking bubble. All the printing of the money, like nothing of fucking value. Like it feels like that technology has created this vacuum, like how we interact, how we talk, how we purchase, like it's infecting but it's happening so fast, and the pandemic has sped it up like exponentially. And I feel like we're going to come to a Jesus moment with all of this shit, with everything that's happening in 2020. And I'm not trying to tie it into political or pandemic or anything, but it sort of feels like that this year has been crazy. And I know Bitcoin's been around a long time, but this speculative investing and, the fucking subreddit group, like blowing up GameStop, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like people are showing that you can just take anything of zero value and manipulate it using technology, using the power of your social standing, and then creating. I mean, like, think about it, man. Like,
yeah, no. So another thing
is craziness.
One thing I wanted to bring up, I'm going to get off cryptocurrency for a second here, but speaking on what you're saying about how things are changing. So one thing I noticed rapidly. So let's look at pre-pandemic. We were already moving into a different paradigm when it came to just online purchasing, online scheduling. The pandemic has sped that up.
Yeah.
Now people don't go shopping. They were already moving to not going. Now people definitely don't go shopping. I mean, I can't remember the last time that I've actually done like a really heavy shopping trip. I just go on and buy everything now. I mean, I was like 50-50. Now I'm like 90-10. Even groceries, food, everything is now being ordered online. And I'm not the only one. This is a phenomenon. Look at like Grubhub and DoorDash. These companies are exploding. The pandemic sped up the success of these companies. Even TripShock, our conversion rate has increased 30% compared to 2019. That's an enormous increase because I feel people want to book things online now because that is what the pandemic has accustomed them to.
Yeah, so 100%. Like I'm 100% on board with this. Like I figured this out before I even opened our doors. Like I knew people's buying habits had changed. We're changing now, are aggressively changing. I'm very much interested in the world of, making money online. And I, for all intent and purposes, yes, I provide a service for that money. But when I tell people that, like, I'm 99% cashless, they're like, no, there's no way. When I tell people that most of my conversions happen somewhere around, between 75 and 80% of my conversions happen online, not via the phone. Mostly it's all online sales. People are like, oh, no, there's no way. You got to be 50-50.
Now, Kevin, has that changed from pre-pandemic?
Not for me. Now, I'd say for other companies, it probably has. Other companies, it probably massively has. I've always had a strong presence online and pushing people to book online and giving all the information about our products and services. Like when you go on to Destiny Water Adventures, there's literally not like you're going to get so much more information and value from clicking around our website, finding out things about the area. Like I've always been a huge proponent of providing value in your marketing, providing value in your media, providing value in your social media. And I think that's why we've always at some point, I really hope that I can just like throw my phones in the trash and nobody has to call ever. Like you can just get everything you need to get. Cause that's what I just, that's the way I shop too. So that being said, I think that's definitely been accelerated. As I said, we've always had that. So for other companies though, I haven't taken a survey, but I'm sure it's going through the roof. Yeah.
And that's where I kind of tie cryptocurrency back into this, is that all your transactions are happening online. People now do not use cash. Cash, like physical cash, is becoming obsolete a lot faster than we know it because all transactions are now happening online. So when cash becomes obsolete, which might not be in our lifetime, there's always going to be a use for it. You know, the cleanliness standards and people not even wanting to touch it, I think, I said, is part of that paradigm shift. Cash, physical cash coming obsolete. Everything, your mobile phone is basically your walking bank. You know?
I do, however, think that I'm backtracking on a position that I held, that I felt like the pandemic was going to like forever be imprinted on us, and to a degree it will. I don't think it's going to be to as much of a degree as I initially thought, because I see so many people walking it back. I see the CDC walking it back. I see the American government walking it back.
They're walking it back in regards to some safety protocols. Yes, they're walking it back. But when it comes to habits, like I honestly thought that people would be social distancing a little bit more, maybe because we're in the Florida bubble, but I do feel like at some behaviors will change. Like some people might be more skeptical of being in groups, but let's say that's yet to see. Down here, we haven't seen that in Florida because people don't give a shit about that.
Well, guess who's not? Guess who's starting to walk back their social distancing? And this is the biggest identifier for all of them. Our favorite people in the world, the fine folks at Disney. They are walking back their social distancing measures at Disney World. And if you're a company that has probably one of the biggest brands and huge, largest public images, and have to be so very extremely concerned about that, is starting to walk those things back. And I don't want to get into like the pandemic, but they're saying like herd immunity is not going to be achieved, and that COVID's going to be, the CDC's report saying that more than likely that the COVID was going to resemble a cold and was going to be with us for forever, and it'll be a coronavirus. So, but my point being is that all of this stuff, I think it's going to continue forward. I just don't think it's going to be like as fast as
But I think the one thing out of COVID that's come out of this is we've just accelerated our consumer habits. I think we accelerated the obsolescence of physical cash. We accelerated the online purchasing trend. And honestly, as businesses, let me tell you, anyone that follows our show, I really hope that you have talked to somebody, whether it be your marketing person or maybe one of your younger employees that's really good with social media, to get your website presence, get an online booking system of some kind, get out there on different advertising channels, because like Yelp,
advertise on Yelp.
Yeah, but this is the signal. Like if COVID hasn't woke you up by this point, that you should be putting a lot more emphasis on your online presence, making sure you look good. You got good photos, you're competitive, you got a good way to book. You got to
They trust me, man. They've heard the fucking siren. They've heard the CTA, man. They are out in mass. Like every fucking day I go on my social and I'm just like, I just see sponsored water sports fucking shit, man, like nonstop. And I'm just like, oh God, man, it's so awful. Like I see so much terrible, awful advertising, and I'm just like, Christ on the cross, man. I want to walk what Greg said a little bit back. If you have like your teenage kid who spends a lot of time on fucking TikTok and Instagram, and they're the ones that are going to fucking run your social media, just stop doing that right now. Just hire somebody that's fucking good, because for my own eyeball's sake, I cannot take looking at the terrible fucking ads. And realistically, they're all terrible when you think about it. Like, it's so bad. It's like a dolphin jumping out of water, a fucking pontoon boat. But now that actually does segue, a wonderful segue. Like, we're talking, this is our week to take a break from talking to people. So like, we love all of our guests. We really do. But sometimes I just need a fucking break from asking questions or trying to creatively make fun of someone without hurting their feelings. Like so this is what a conversation with me and Greg looks like. We kind of like jump around all over the place. And, we always talk about the online presence and advertising and fucking crypto. And we do a lot of sidelines when we talk in real life. So this is our episode to just kind of like kick back, take a break, and talk about some of the things. Like, Greg, we've had a long conversation about crypto. We actually had a long episode about crypto that got erased, obviously. And then Yelp, we haven't talked about Yelp. And I think it's just this general consensus among business owners that Yelp is the devil and they're evil and it's a terrible platform. And I disagree with that, actually.
What?
I'm a Yelper, dude. Yeah, dude. Fucking, I got 17 badges. No, I have the worst look on Yelp. I've got 7 reviews and 6 of them are terrible. And I'm don't care.
So here's the
I
problem.
Should, though.
Here's the problem with Yelp. And everyone probably knows this already. People only leave reviews on Yelp when they're pissed off.
Yep.
And Yelp is not the only one. So if you go to the Better Business Bureau, they offer online reviews now. And also really any website that has your business listed and allows reviews, you're always going to have more negative reviews than the ones that you're actively pushing people to. So most businesses on TripShock, and we solicit reviews every time people get off their trip, we text them and email them. But pretty much every listing has a 4.5 out of 5 rating, every one. Because if everybody gets a review invite, you're probably going to have a favorable. It's the problem with Yelp is that it's a pay to play. It's pretty much extortion where people go on there. Yelp knows that people only go to your listing to leave bad reviews because no one I know actually tells people go to Yelp to leave reviews. Nobody.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start cataloging all the terrible people that come, and then I'm going to put them in my Yelp funnel, and I'll just be if you really want to support Destiny Water Adventures, leave us a Yelp review. It'd just be my garbage can of reviews funnel.
The thing is, and the reason why people don't send to Yelp is because it doesn't add as much value as people going to TripAdvisor or Google. With Google, there's a lot of value to getting people to leave reviews there because it helps your organic ranking. And plus, it's the first thing people see when they Google your name, you Google My Business.
So do you know how Yext is tied in with Yelp? I'm not exactly sure.
Yes. So Yext is like an OTA for review services. So you list on Yext, and then Yext distributes you to all the different review sites for one price. I used to use Yext years ago.
They also put you on directories, though, don't they?
Yes, they put you in directories, and most directories you can leave reviews. But one second, let me finish my thought about the Google thing. So,
I'm sorry,
there's two review sites that we want to push, and that's TripAdvisor. Even though TripAdvisor has lost some value, it's still one that people want to be on because they still get direct traffic from it to some degree. And plus it helps out if you're listed as a reseller, it does boost your ranking up to some degree. But those are the two sites that make the most sense. Why would I want to send to Yelp? What does Yelp actually do for me? And is it a trusted source for the community that I'm trying to get reservations from? That's the issue. So what happens is people don't want to send the review. They want the reviews going to sources that they're going to get something back from. So we leave Yelp alone. People get pissed off. People know Yelp, so they go on there. That's the first thing people do. They're going to go to the site that's somewhat the easiest to leave reviews. Also, I feel like people go to Yelp to leave bad reviews because there's other bad reviews on there.
Yeah. So there's this. So anecdotally, and a lot of people were saying this in Billion Dollar Bully, but I got a customer and she left me a 5-star in 2018 on Yelp. She was very happy with everything. It was perfect. It was wonderful. And then she came back in 2019 and was fucking pissed off. There was not as much parking, so blah, 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 and left us a 1-star review. I'm that's wow. There's no middle, huh? There's no 3-star. We lost it we went to straight trash. You're on the same boat, same service, probably the same dockhand, but garbage, what have you. Fine. No big deal. Never come back. Fuck you. 1-star on Yelp. I hope you burn in hell. My point is they fucking highlight her 1-star review. When you go, that's you would see that's the only thing she ever said about us. But if you click on or whatever, it'll take you to the 5-star. And this is what these businesses were saying, that basically Yelp highlights all of your bad reviews. They push them to the top. And then they will call you and they'll be like, verify your listing. Once you verify your listing, then they're like, hey, you should get on our ad platform. And then if you tell them to go fucking kick rocks, then they're like, okay, 1 star forever. But if you don't, and it's like, they push you 5 stars to the top. And there was like a class action lawsuit against them. Their sales team is like a super, super, super aggressive. And before it was Yext, it was what is it? Why? God damn it, man! It was like XYP or something like that. They had like their marketing arm or whatever. So anyway, my long story short is that they got sued for extortion. So they couldn't prove it. They looked in the Yelp. They looked in what they were doing. The statute or the decision read as like there's something going on here, but to what's the word I'm looking for? To support the claim of extortion, like you have to go to an extreme to prove that they're extorting their customers. There's no like clear boundaries that show that they were extorting people. But they said that there was something, there was something there, but it wasn't extortion. So I'm obviously paraphrasing the reading of how it came out, but they ended up in favor of Yelp, and Yelp won the lawsuit, such and so forth. But the whole idea is that if you don't advertise with them, then your bad reviews are going to get pushed to the top, and their advertising platform is trashed. Like basically what if you've ever never talked to a salesperson, what their whole pitch is going to be is that advertising on Yelp gets you a more qualified lead, that because they're already looking for your product or service within Yelp, they're higher up or lower down in the funnel, thereby, a better target audience. So you're going to have higher conversions if you advertise in Yelp. And my theory is that may be true, but I would burn at the fucking stake before I ever was like, oh, you go to Yelp looking for shit? Here, I want you to come to my business. Like, no,
I do think that in certain cities, Yelp is probably very helpful. I mean, I'm just, by talking to other people, I've heard that Yelp is helpful in other cities, but
they're on Apple Maps.
Yeah. But from a business perspective, from Watersports tour companies that we've worked with over the years, I don't think there's any value whatsoever. They have really fucked up, excuse my French, they fucked up on our industry.
They did.
And there's no value for businesses. Like our customers, the most that they would probably do for us is leave one review, right? Like I can't expect customers to go to Google, to Yelp, to TripAdvisor, no, they're not going to go on all of those. We're going to get at least 10 minutes of their time to leave one review, maybe not even that. So to give people to Yelp, there's more value to sending them to Google. If you're only going to get that one review, Google and TripAdvisor. So just to kind of put a cap on this is Yelp just doesn't add any value. And then they use extortion tactics in order to try to prove their value. And that just makes things even worse. One thing we've done with TripShock is we understand that you could have a couple bad reviews right in a row. Like you could have a bad trip and have 2 bad reviews. What we definitely would never do is highlight your 2 bad reviews. In fact, every listing, we have 4 of your best reviews are the featured reviews in every listing, because it is absolutely unfair if the last 5 reviews are crappy because you had bad weather and someone got pissed off in the group and all their family members left a bad review. And that's review sites don't take that in consideration because they don't understand our business. So we've been really particular in how we display reviews to make sure every operator gets a fair shake when customers are looking at their listings.
I hate the way it happened. I hate you email me and then you make me go into your goddamn extranet, because it's always there's this moment. It's like, is it going to be bad or is it going to be good?
We're fixing that, by the way. It's going to be in the email.
It used to be in the email, so not that it's a problem, but there's this 15 seconds where I go to the thing and are they going to bitch? Are they going to? I mean, I know we have a good product and service, but still, we service so many people that it's just I remember the first time I got a guy, I had so many good reviews, and it was like, before I really got to know you guys, I remember Call Keone like bitching up a store. I'm like, God damn it, I don't got a single bad review anywhere. And I got first one that comes from a Trick Shop customer, and the guy's like trying to extort me to fucking give him back his money. And now it's just like, it was really funny. Somebody, this is so weird. This is an aside. I almost called you with this. I took 4 bookings simultaneously yesterday. 2 on Trip Shock, 1 on the phone, 1 online, and it overbooked me. It overbooked me by 2 boats, dude. I was like, how did this happen? And I just looked, and there was literally 4 bookings in my email that came at 12, 13, 13, and 3:14. It was like literally 4 times. And I had to call, and so I had my, cause like, I'm like, call Trip Shock and let them know we have to cancel his booking. And, sorry. Just by the way, if I'm going to fucking cancel somebody, I'm like, call Trip Shock. And then they're like, no, they're like my call center person and your call center person, like fucking, they're like, no, you call them. I'm like, fuck that. You call them. I'm not calling them. They're going to be mad at me. They're always like pissed off. But no, I thought it was pretty funny. Don't cancel with Trip Shock, guys. Don't, whatever. leave that 25, 20%, whatever it is on the table.
Man, you're rocking it. You got 202 reviews.
Who?
You do.
Oh, on Trip Shock?
4.8 rating out of 5.
It's like, it's accurate, dude. I'm 4.8 on Google too. I'm just shy of 400.
But you know what though? If you were on Yelp, what's your Yelp rating?
Oh God, don't.
Hey,
terrible.
I want to look at your Yelp rating. I want to read your reviews.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, listen, if you're gonna read one, I can't remember what her name is, dude, but it is probably my favorite review of all time. We're gonna go live on this one.
Okay.
I love this one.
You're a 3.5 out of 7.
Oh, it's so bad. And so the problem with that is when you go to Apple Maps, I'm a huge Apple guy, is that they display your Yelp rating review. And that really fucking sucks. So I feel like I have to do something about it. There's a part of me, like our marketing guy was like, dude, you got to claim your listing. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not claiming anything. He's like, it'll help your SEO. I'm like, all right, whatever, claim it. There's the one, come on, man. My friggin'.
I love this review here.
Which one is it?
The one from Shelly from South Carolina. No, this is the best part. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but
okay.
The end of it, she says, so on top of navigating a storm and attempting to get back safely, we had to worry about holding our roof intact. This caused our rental to be cut short another 45 minutes. Nothing was offered for our rental being cut short a little over an hour, other than, yeah, we need some boats for sure.
I wanted, like, I want to fire whoever fucking, like, my boats are in great condition, dude. I literally have no idea what that.
Oh my God. That is really funny.
No, man. It's like the first one. I think it's back from like 2019. Hold on. I'm getting to it. Oh yeah. 3.5. I'm a real star on Yelp. Come on. I don't know why, but my service is just terrible. The one where they call it, like, they're like, yeah, grab her boat 8 or grab the red one. And then she's like, yeah, I knew we were going to, she called it like a real shithole boat. That's come on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm only giving it 1 star because that pontoon boat actually started. Okay. Yeah. When I started to make my way to the boat, he yelled at the guy bringing the boat around, give them the red one. We automatically assumes, I love that fucking grammar mistake. We automatically assumes the red one was a shithole. Sure enough, it was the worst boat in the water. The horn didn't work. We had to use a whistle that hadn't been cleaned. I'm sure since the boat was purchased back in 1947. That is my favorite bad review ever.
No. I like the beginning. It says, I will put it as simple as possible. Do not give these arrogant, useless, idiot crooks your business. Oh, no. Hey, this is the best. No, this is the best part. Days prior, I found a Groupon. There we go. And the booking calendar was not working. I then skimmed the ad and found the name and number. So I called. And what do you know? I see the message saying this number is temporarily disconnected. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Of course, she was on Groupon. Of course.
Yes. No, dude, listen, I called these people because they went on TripAdvisor, they went on Yelp, they went on Facebook, they went on Google. So I called the husband or whatever, and he was like, yeah, I told when we were driving home back to Texas, I told my wife, I told her word for word exactly what I wanted. And then when she went to go put it on, it got erased. So I had to go back and do it all over again. And I was just like, that's the most like psychotic thing. Like you guys were on vacation and on the way home, you're like, oh, curses. And like her whole thing was that like somehow I had managed to that like, we didn't want to do business with Groupon and that we were blocking Groupon in some way. And then that we were I was just like, man, you're a fucking crazy person. Like, and I think you do. I think you have to be a fucking crazy ass person to like go on to it's just absolutely ridiculous to me.
But the thing is, if you're on Yelp, then you're actively searching for a platform to bitch.
Absolutely.
That's all it's for. So, with TripAdvisor, TripShock, we have, I don't know, like 100, 200,000 orders a year. And we don't have a lot of bad reviews at all about the service, but you go to Better Business Bureau, right? They have a listing. We have like 2 bad reviews. We've had that listing for 12 years. We have 2 bad reviews. So what happens is people Google like reviews, they go to these sites and they're like, wait, this company's been in business for 12 years and has 2 horrible reviews. What's up? Right? Like, I feel like if these platforms are going to solicit reviews, then either you do it the right way or you do it not at all. Because now I'm in a position where I got to pay Better Business Bureau $300 or whatever they want. And then I also got to tell my customers to go there and leave reviews to equal it out. It's a lose-lose situation for businesses because you can't, spread all of your customers through 5 different review sites. You got to focus on a couple of them and do them really well. But then these companies pop up, these review sites, and they start soliciting reviews. And now you have to focus on these ones. Like, when does it ever stop? Because the ones you don't monitor are going to have the worst reviews.
Absolutely. So I want to derail us. And I said at the beginning before we got going, and I know I like threw you for a loop because we didn't even talk about this, but I want to review some of our guests. So we can ask each other, but who do you think has been our most informative guest? Where you're like, oh my God, like blew your socks off. Like, holy shit, information overload.
That's a good question. I wish you would have given me time to think about it. Okay. So I'm going to say, and this is speaking from because I don't know a lot about some of this stuff, but I will say Kaylee Lavach from Sassy Tangerine. When she talks, I just want to shut up and listen because she is so good at what she does. But I was really impressed with everything that she had to say, and it was very, like I said, because I don't know much about it, and it was very interesting. About how Instagram works and kind of the fine details of how to grow your following. I mean, she really laid out, and she was like, she did the Emerald Lagasse thing. She gave away her recipe, and that was awesome. But it's like, again, who's going to cook it? I'm not. Like, I don't have time for that. Yeah, but she told us how to do it.
Yeah, I hate Instagram.
What about
you? Tim Murphy or John Hall. Like, those guys are just such animals, man. Like, Tim Murphy was just like one of those guys where I was just like, you feel like, your business card might say fucking CEO on it, man, but fuck, man, that guy's a fucking real CEO, man. Like, I was just like, it's rare that I just start like piling together like questions and things, and Tim just blew me away. And John Hall too. John Hall is another one, man. Just like his like ideas about hiring and the PI and all that shit. Like, I thought I was really like blown away. I was really blown away. I know enough. Like, I knew some of the things that a little bit about Instagram, but there's things that Tim was just saying that was just like blowing me out. Okay.
So by the way, episode 18 is John's. I just want to give everyone some episode in case they want to go back and listen. Tim Murphy, the CEO of Boomers Park. If you're local to Northwest Florida, Boomers Park also owns Big Kahunas. That's episode 24. And then Callie Lavach is episode 25. So it's episode 25, 24, and 18 if you're interested in those episodes. Okay.
Okay. Who's the funnest guest?
Ooh. Looking all there. I pulled up all our episodes because I gotta.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it. Oh no. I'm sorry. Christian Watts.
Oh yeah, Christian was pretty fucking good. I didn't even think about him.
Christian Watts was the best one. As far as I love his dry humor and his. He was
getting me.
His jabs were great.
I think that's why you liked it so much, because somebody finally gave it back to me. And I've got to say that yes, and it's precisely the reason I'm going to pick my favorite, because they give it. He fucking gets me pretty good all the time. Is Steve from AMP Agency. I really had a lot of fun with those guys. And disclaimer, like since that show, me and Steve talk all the time. So he's a fucking hilarious guy. But him and Christian, it's exactly the reason why you said, because they fucking hit me back. Like, so when I'm like punching or like jabbing somebody a little bit on the show, and then they just kind of like, oh, well, I didn't know it. Like, no, man, I'm joking. I'm talking shit. So yeah, that is really tough, man. So now, man, I almost got to feel like I got to walk that back, because Christian was, yeah, man, that's pretty good. Yeah. I got to tie him.
So Christian's episode is episode 28. Is where we talk about reselling tours, and AMP Agency. That is episode 21. We talk about acquisition and things like that.
All right. What do you think our worst episode was? If you had one that you could fucking erase. Oh my God, now I'm really putting you on the spot. You might have to mention a guest.
Well, I'm not going to mention a guest. There hasn't been a bad guest episode, but there's been some bad ones that we have done.
Oh, we probably got to go back. Go back.
Just stupid ones. I'd say the one that sticks out at me is the one about Amazon Explorer, where we talk about the movie Surrogates and all that.
Oh,
it's just dumb. It's just a dumb episode. It's episode 5, but it's actually kind of funny, and it's just like bad sound quality because we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
There was one episode that we had. When didn't we have to do John's twice?
Yeah, we had to do John's twice.
So spoiler alert, yeah, the John Hall, really engaging, smart, talented, funny guy. When he first got signed up, I don't know like what he was doing. He had like deliveries coming, and he was like shuffling papers and shit. We had to re-record the whole thing.
But that was one of the best episodes, though.
It really was. I mean, hands down. Okay, so I won't say. I think the worst one is also the AMP Agency. Because they're such fucking arrogant pricks, dude.
Okay, what was the best moment in any? I mean, I have one in particular I think is really funny. Is when we did an interview with Alex Husner, and she told the story about the gypsies.
Oh yeah, that was fucking awesome, man.
That was episode. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Episode 6. Episode 6 is without the gypsy story. That was I literally was just editing and laughing hysterically the whole time editing.
Yeah. And speaking of awkward moments, I have long given you a hard time about your love of all things fantasy. You told me in confidence, you're like, yeah, I like fantasy stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm going to make fun of you about that. I started watching Game of Thrones, and it's pretty fucking awesome. I gotta say, I'm in season 3, and it's pretty good, man.
You need to watch Last Kingdom instead. Last Kingdom is better.
It's
Netflix. Last Kingdom.
Yeah, I gotta start with. I gotta break. You gotta break in.
What about Vikings? It's on the History Channel, but it's also on Prime. Okay, so
no. Game of Thrones is like
finish Game of Thrones and then go to Last Kingdom, but you get sucked in. It's really good stuff. It really is. All right. Well, I don't want to edit any more of this episode. I'm done.
All right, dude. Just go raw with this one, man. Do the fucking straight audio, no editing. Just do it, man. This is great. That's what makes the show awesome.
Yeah. I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, so
You're definitely a perfectionist.
I'm gonna edit it. There's just no way.
All right, well then whatever you do, don't edit this. Guys, thank you for listening, and whatever you do, keep it fucking awkward now.
What was that?
That was my ending. I ended it for you.
That was an awful ending.
Edit it out. Jesus Christ. I knew it. I just did it to make you edit more. Go ahead. All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have to outro to tell people to go to our no, after this episode, I don't know if I want to tell people to go to our Facebook group. Anyways, go to our Facebook group, Watersport and Tour Professionals. Just search for it. You'll find it. And Kevin, I don't know if people know this, but Kevin and I approve people to join it. So
we do. And we literally almost approve almost everything. I think there's one post ever I did not approve. We approve
pretty much everything and everybody until they join the group and start, posting about their multi-level marketing. Have you ever had that happen before? I had a couple groups in the past and I let someone in and then like literally seconds later, they're posting about their like pampered chef, link or something. It's
yeah. Well, somebody did. And I will say that I reached out to you and you let it fly. And then that person never, ever, ever provided anything else. He dropped his shit and fucking ran. So whatever you do, this is just, I'm going to segue here real quick, just about group marketing. If you're going to get into a group and market your shit, you have got to provide value and you've got to talk to people and you can't just come in there and drop your service and run. And I will moderate the shit out of that. Like I come in, provide whatever it is you're going to provide, answer people's questions. And then if you have something that you can, do it. I mean, we go into other groups and very rarely do we talk about Awkward Watersports Guys. Every once in a blue moon we do. And we get some listeners and we probably get some people from those groups, but only because we're not going in there and we're like, we got a podcast, fucking come join our group. So provide value, then provide your service or product, whatever it is, because if not, I'll fucking delete that shit with impunity. All right.
You good?
This is the most, when we go back and do this one again one more time, we'll be like, what's the worst episode we ever did?
Episode 36. The Yelp one.
All right. Come on. Outro us, one of them.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. Keep it awkward.
You've been listening to the Awkward Watersport Guys podcast. If you're in the water sport industry, this is the podcast that brings the business perspective to parasailing, jet and ski boat rentals, sailing, snorkeling, and everything else. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. Be sure to sign up to our email list at watersportpodcast.com and subscribe in your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time, and thanks for listening.